I don't hear nothing.
You won't yet.
No.
Now you will. Hi, Glenn. You're up, Ceris.
Back on the weekend. I want to see a show.
Show.
Yeah, I know where to go.
Hi, Kara.
Hi, guys.
Into the music scene.
Showing lots of love.
For the community. With great
advice. Go see.
Show. The champ is here.
Gonna have to leave early though.
No excuse to leave early, Kareem. None.
All around town. Radio.
Show.
Radio.
Oh my God. Who am I hearing twice? You?
You don't need that. Once was more than
enough. That's enough. All right. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
What's you slurping?
A mango magic from Tropical Smoothie with no sugar.
Well, sugar's bad for you.
Whatever.
Wait till we get to this or that today. We'll see if sugar's bad for you. What's going on, Jim McCarthy?
Joy to my life.
Sugar brings joy to you. It brings joy to my life too, but not my blood sugar level. Wow. Negative. Hola on this Taco Tuesday, Jim says. Taco Tuesday.
Hola.
Skip in the house from Liars for Hire.
Hola.
Yes. It's not a Stanley Cup, Jim McCarthy said. Oh my God, is that not a phenomenon right now? It's crazy.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my. Well, no, that's not true.
But
one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Lay it on everything over the years. I mean, from Cabbage Patch Dolls to Yetis to this to, things become fads. Cabbage Patch
Dolls, you could play I don't know. Something just seems weird to me. It's dumb.
You can play with your Stanley Cup. Just saying. I don't know.
Hey, Colleen, thanks.
What do we got here? Ed Sawicki has joined us. Hi, Ed. What's up, Edward?
Colleen's so kind.
Well, look at that ray of sunshine on Ceris's head up there, guys. I don't know where it's coming from because there is no sun within 1,000 miles of us today, but Ceris has the star shining over her today.
I mean, I'm just like constant sunshine.
Hi, Jimmy.
Joy.
Russell Jenkins in the house. Hi, Russell.
Hey, Russell. I heard you had an amazing show this past weekend.
Yeah, amazing. We talked about that yesterday on the program. Yeah. Mary Ann joined me yesterday and gave an update and some things and had some fun with that. Nice. Pet Rocks, Roger said. Yes, Pet Rocks, another one of those that was a phenomenon. Oh, sorry. Hi, Jamie Minnick.
Hi, Jamie. Beautiful Jamie.
We are her peeps today.
I'm happy to be her peeps.
Russell said it was fun. I bet it was fun. That is a great crowd there at the Blue Note. It was. All right, what else we got going, Ceris? Anything before we get into this wonderful topic today? You have anything?
Kind of like I'm fostering to adopt a cat.
Meow. Okay.
Yeah, I got a little kitty, but we got to make sure the dogs get along.
Right. I get it. That's a lot of dogs and one kitty.
She's so cute. I think every cat's a girl to me. But
I saw the picture you showed me. The cat is beautiful.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's cool. And how's Jim with his keeping the dogs off the furniture thing going? Is that good? That was hilarious. Yeah, he's such a softie.
He's a softie. I mean, have I told you the story about when we first started dating and Mr. Bear?
No.
So funny. He actually broke up with me. because he's a farm boy, very military, very strict, and grew up on the farm, and dogs were not necessary, they're not the way that I treat dogs.
Hi,
But
Tina.
I remember him saying, I'm not going to sleep in the bed if your dog sleeps in the bed. And I said, then don't sleep in the bed.
Wow.
My dog's been with me for 10 years. He's my little baby. So he actually broke up with me for a weekend, and then we got back together, and he was like, our compromise was, well, what if we get a king size bed and Bear sleeps on your side? I was like, great compromise. That sounds good.
You're awful. You are awful, but you
now
love your
he's
doggies.
so in love with all of these dogs that he's often says to me, he goes, I get it. I totally get it.
He's a convert.
He's got one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Hi, Denny Cottle. How are you? Well, it is part 2 today. Thanks for that intro on that, Denny. And we really don't have a lot of direction other than we had people last week say they wanted to hear more on this topic. So we're going to rely on the audience today to bring us some things. We had some questions pop up about not only, how do you break into that playing in a club thing? And there was a lot of networking and talking to musicians and showing up and all that last week. But how do you truly break into the club scene and get on a stage? And then another question that popped up, I'd love to have people address today, is for artists who have their own material, how do you get it on the streaming services? And then how do you get people to listen to it is the other thing on streaming services, because we know there's not a lot of money in streaming, but that's here or there. But it's how do you get listened to? Because I think oftentimes, Ceris, people that get listened to and become popular by people listening to their music tend to start playing out in places. I mean, you see it happen all over the place. So maybe that's a segue into how to get in a club. But locally, it's a tough road sometimes to pop up and get yourself on that stage, isn't it?
It is. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of places, like especially in Nashville and things, they go by one of their things is they go by how many like Spotify followers you have or viewers you have, listens you have. They go by all that. So when one of your friends or local artists is asking you to please share their Spotify or that could help them. That helps them tremendously, because unfortunately those big like original artists, those clubs are looking for that.
And we want to know from you guys today, if somebody's had experience, especially with like how to build a Spotify with your music on it and all that stuff, please drop it in there, because that is not my forte. I can tell you that I took some crap about last week's saying EPKs were not important. People were losing their mind over that to me. But I will tell you, in the venues that I've participated with and been a part of, and you said it, Ceris, you really don't have time to go through this big long EPK somebody sends you with all these videos and information and bios.
Yeah, and it's not that they're not important. It's just depending on the venue, it's just irrelevant. It's just, I don't know. It's a very important,
Dirk.
but just like anything else, some people don't need it, and some people, it's not their, they don't want it.
Ray says Matt says he uses the Amuse app to get their music on streaming. Okay, there we go. Interesting. And Rick Henderson, thank you for dropping by. So yeah, if any of you have experience in this, we'd love to hear from you. Kenny Tyndall says streaming music services is the new MTV. Well, it is, and that's funny you said that, but it's also, I think, important. It seems to be to local artists that want to play. Especially like Kara said, in Nashville and places like that, if you're looking to take a step in that direction, they live and die by these Spotify accounts and their streaming accounts. So you never see anyone that goes to Nashville that doesn't start that. I mean, they start that push, follow me on Spotify, listen to me on Spotify, like my music and do all that. So it's interesting. Hi, Del McFarland. What a great announcement that he's going to be at the bar on Thursday, a couple of weeks from now.
Great announcement.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking that just solidified my plans for that night for real. But yeah,
honored that you want to come play it at my bar. I think it's going to be amazing.
I think it will too. And then the following week is another one that's just going to be absolutely off the hook. The Van Halen tribute, and also a very special guest that night coming in with our own very own Danny Laverde and people. It's going to be good.
Very good.
So follow the Bells
Mark
page if you
Daly.
haven't
Mark
yet.
Daly.
Yeah, I was going to let him go
Raven.
see it on your page, but you can give it away because you're in charge. Give it away now. What else we got going out there? Let's see if anybody's answering. Hello, Alex Hall. And Dell says it'll be a great night. I'm looking forward to that a whole lot.
Yeah, keep going. I want to check something. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. And Bob says streaming your music is easy. Getting people to listen to it is another thing. So Bob, can you add to that? I mean, I know you can get on the streaming service and put anything. I mean, I can put my podcast on Spotify. Doesn't mean anybody's going to listen to it. So how do you get people to listen? Is that through social media? Is it, I know people who buy listeners and those kind of things. There are services that do that, but I don't think that does any good for you because they're really not organic and they really don't give a crap about you. They get they're in Bangladesh and get 2 cents for every person they like or something. So that's the same on Facebook, YouTube, and all that. You leaving? Bye.
Sorry, I have to get my dog water.
See you later. What else we got here? Let's see what we got. Russell Jenkins says marketing. So Russell, if you were going to market yourself if you're a new artist and you want to get your music out there and you want to get yourself played in a local club, you've got some great experience. How about sharing that with us? We'd love to hear from you today. I've got some ideas of how to market yourself, and we've talked about them in years past here and things, but we'll wait to see what we get. Matt Anderson bringing us a big comment. He says, amused to post our stuff on the interwebs, hits all the major ones, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. There you go. So kind of a one-stop shop and gives you the code you need to get nudge from WEBN for submitting to Native Noise. There you go. And, those are good things, too. Some of those shows that are on the local radio that play local artists are wonderful things. I wish we could play local artists here, but even when I put local artist music on that is not copywritten or, is not on any of the music services, we get dinged by the Book of Face every time saying it's copyright infringement and all that. So guess the melody sounds like something else. What else we got? Hi, Chris Lee. He's in the house. I think we just froze, Karis. So we're having the old rainy interwebs day today. So let's stay with it here.
I can see me moving.
Okay, you keep talking then, and I'll hopefully we'll come back here in just a second. There it is. We're back. Okay. It's one of those things that happens when it's rainy outside. So what do we got?
I'm never frozen, right? Just kidding.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Yes, let
it go. That's all I know.
Thank you. Denny Cottle. I can tell you every word of that song because I have grandchildren that are daughters or young ladies.
I don't have that.
Denny Cottle says we always released our original music on CD Baby. I know I've heard of that many times, people doing that. Getting people to listen is all elbow grease. And I wish somebody give us some ideas on how to do that. That's what we'd love to hear. There's people watching today that want to know, and we'd love to hear from you there. But also keep going on this theme of how to get played in a club and how to get your gigs in a club too, because that's most important to our live music scene. And Karis, we got a lot of people watching today. We got to say hi to a bunch of people out there. I see Ryan Schwab. He's going to join me tomorrow at noon. Going to talk about Schwab Fest. That'll be fun. And that's on Wednesday with the band. Kevin McCoy's in the house. Wow, look at all these folks checking in. It's good to see them all.
Nice.
And Ray says many original acts get listeners mostly through live shows with me. So it seems to me like this, as Ray just said, it's a vicious cycle, though. It's if you can't get in a club to do a live show, who's going to know about your music for them to go listen to it on Spotify and stuff? Where do we go with this? And what's the first step, I guess, in getting yourself playing out?
Social media.
We all said social media and networking. But Karis, do you peruse bands on social media as a routine every day? I mean, do you go look for bands?
Not at all.
So how would you find somebody? I mean, how would you say, oh, I want to go to their social media page? Is it because they send you a message or is it because somebody recommends them to you? Talk to me about that.
That's what it is. Say, send me a message or somebody recommends them or I see somebody like it or make a comment on it. So I check out what it is.
Thank you for Kareem talking about that.
I check out bars, music venues, and see who's playing at those places, and see some comments and go on their pages every once in a while to see who they are.
And Russell Jenkins, thank you for that comment. I have to add to that and say, new bands, new artists, beware of people who say they want to be your publicist or your management.
Don't do that. Just don't do it.
Because locally, that can be the kiss of death, because this person may not represent you in the manner you want to be represented in.
Just be very careful and ask for references, and then do your research, because there are a lot of fucking shady ass publicists and booking agents and managers out there.
Absolutely. Denny says getting in Spotify playlists is a huge one too. That's good. And if one thing we talked about doing, and if we could get any of our viewers who are Spotify freaks who love to make their own playlist and all that on there, if you could ever do it and get a bunch of them to do a local band playlist and support the local music community with some of the originals that people do, that gets those numbers up. That gets things cranking and people seeing it. So it's something to think about. If you're on there every day making a cover song playlist or those kind of things for people to share with, why not do one of your local favorite bands too and put it on Spotify and see what kind of interest it generates? Who knows if it'll generate anything? And thank you. I'm way behind, I know, on comments. I'm getting there.
So I think the best way to push, personally speaking, is by sharing people's posts. And again, the algorithm, like you can see when your friends have liked something. Recently, it was in the last couple of months, I started, Facebook started paying me for my content on my page for depending on how many people I've reached, like how many people shared it. So like last month, I had a reach of over like 12 million people for one of my posts.
Right.
Or something insane like that. And that's really, it's this necessary evil, but the social media is keeping them entertained is going to help you.
And let me throw a little something out there that was funny. The other day, somebody messaged me and they got missed in our list on Thursday. They sent a message. It got missed in the shuffle. And they sent me a message. They said, so disappointing you missed us this week. And I want to say, first and foremost, we try to do very well with that. But on the other side of that, I get bands who talk to me and they say, well, you're promoting music, but yet I look on my page, they've never even liked my page. They want to be promoted, but they don't scratch each other's backs. And I think all the bands ought to scratch each other's backs. And, all it takes is a second to go like their page or give them a follow. We should be at 20,000 followers on our page today, and we're not. And
it's funny. These people that do that aren't watching the show. They don't care what you think. They care about what they can get from you.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. I was thinking about this today. I know it's a completely different subject, but sometimes, one of my favorite humans who's also a huge animal lover, Billy, he made a post today of this just horrifically sad story about an animal being abandoned on the side of the road. And I read that, and all my animal loving friends will read that. But the people that actually need to see this story, because they're the ones who are doing it, don't give a fuck, and they're not going to read it, and they don't care. And that's usually how it is. The people that just don't care and are only out for themselves, they're not the ones that are reading or going on to other pages. They're just going on their own. They just care about what they're doing, and that's it.
Agreed. And Denny, thank you for that. Johnny Fink said he got a check from CD Baby for $16. Yeah, you're not going to get rich off of it, are you? And Denny says local club shows go hand in hand with getting the listens. So maybe it is a good combination if you're playing. So then again, who has the magic wand to tell us how they can get booked in a club as a new artist? Because new artists struggle with this every single day, getting put up on a stage somewhere or in a venue where they can sit on a stool and play music or whatever they want to do. they struggle with that. So what's the magic secret to getting into those clubs and getting somebody to take a chance on you? That's my question.
I mean, open mics are good. Open mics are good. Are we talking about originals or are we talking about anything?
Well, you know, I firmly believe you have to hone your craft, and people come to a bar and they want to hear covers. You know that most people want to hear covers.
Depending on
But
where,
if you can throw a couple originals in and say, this is a song I wrote, and explain it to people for a second and play it, you know, they're not going to get up and leave on that note. If you're playing all originals and they've never heard any of them all night long, history proves that they're going to get up and go somewhere else. I mean, it just happens. It's unfortunate. And there are clubs that just cater to original music. They do. That's what their shtick is, and that's good. No, what are you reading? You're reading
I'm
something.
reading Ray's because I'm assuming she also gets paid by Facebook, but I don't know. My reach was from the shares. I mean, I made a decent amount of money last month, and I mean, the comments were a lot, but I think the shares were more, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and that's why we always.
I don't know. I'm not sure how it works.
We're always saying, share the show, share this, share that.
Yeah.
Give us a like, and there's difference between likes, follows, all that. I don't understand all of it. I wish I did. If I ever have time to have lunch with Ray, she's going to clue me in on some of it. But I will say this. They offered me the same thing, and I haven't taken them up on it yet on the monetary side of Facebook. And I don't feel like we're there yet in consistency. Maybe we are, but you know, I had a post go with 2.7 million views as well, and all or comments and all that. And all we asked was, you know, what was your favorite band of all time or something. It went crazy, but I don't know. That's neither here nor there. We're talking about how to break into the club scene. And yeah. And Denny, we talked about that last week, last minute gigs. If you can fill a last minute gig at a club and come in and make that owner happy who needs something because somebody canceled at the last minute, and that owner is going to be grateful to you. If you do a good job, you're going to get another gig. I guarantee it, because they're going to be grateful for you last minute coming in. And it happens a lot. There's been a lot of illness going on. And, you know, while we're talking about that, let's take just a break for a second, Ceris, and give our thoughts to our friends at Sons of Liberty and the loss of their guitar player, Chris. Wes Williams just posted that in there. That's good timing, Wes. But yeah, Chris Taylor, an incredible guitarist and kind person, and just a shame. Way too young. Way, way too young. What's Kevin McCoy? He says, you beautiful people. It took a very long time to be able to play your own songs. Yeah, and Kevin, you do more originals than a lot of bands do, but your originals are upbeat. They're fun. People like them. I don't know. I toy with the original idea a lot, and I get it. People want to write their own songs. Every song was once an original. It really was. So who knows?
Ed, what are you talking about? Same here, offered but not taking them up yet. What's that?
Where we at? Way down. Am I deep into the? Man, I'm missing so many comments here. Is that Ed who? Ed Sawicki? Oh, I bet he's talking about Facebook, probably. Oh. And I was unclear on whether that was a good idea or a bad idea for me, and I still am. But I made a
lot of money last month.
I've been told I need to be on TikTok, and I'm not on there yet. I'm on there, but I'm not on there. You know what I mean? I've got a TikTok channel, but I don't, or whatever it's called, but I don't do it. But TikToker. I don't know. There's so many comments. Anything you see that looks great. Bob Klein always has a good one. He says, it's not magic. Prove yourself to smaller venues. Get out there and suck, then do it again. Keep working until you don't suck. Basically, if you're new at this, you have to build it. Pretty simple stuff, right, Ceris?
I mean, honestly, I like what, what's his name? Where did it go? Brett Brock said, get out there. Don't be a snob. Be nice. Shake hands. Start conversations. It's not easy, but I think the people that give a shit about the others surrounding them will probably have a better go at it than the people that don't.
All right, I don't see Brett's comment yet, but I'll put it up there in a minute. Let's see what we got here. Ray. Oh, gosh, this one's huge. Mark Feldman. CD baby. Okay. Thank you, Mark, for that comment. Social media is so important in the band business today, whether you like it or not. And the bands, we said it last week, the bands that say, "Oh, we don't do social media," well, you're missing a great opportunity. You really are. And I'm trying to see all these. Ryan Schwab says he has a playlist on Spotify full of local bands in the Cincinnati scene. Way to go, Ryan! Thank you. That's a way to support. Sarah. Then used to get more bookings. Thank you, Sarah, for that one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, originals that's a tough one. It is. And Terry says, "Get back in the saddle again." Thank you, Terry. That's a shameless plug from him. Russell always has good comments. You need to study and understand how the social media works to make it work for you. Yes.
Yeah.
And, I think Ray's said it best when she was on the show with us, Ceris, about social media. The band, your band page doesn't always have to be completely about your band. You could put something funny up there. You could put a funny meme, music meme or something like that once in a while. I mean, your page, Ceris, you have things on it that has zero to do with your bar, yet people follow it to see those things.
They follow my page just to see what I'm going to post.
Yeah. And, what your sign's going to say out front, all those things, which is genius, in my opinion, because it gives people another avenue other than just the same old, well, this week on Tuesday night, it's Singo, and Wednesday night, it's Scott Hall with Name That Tune. Shameless plug.
Yeah. I make sure I do it. I make sure I do it all, mix it up and post, because then other people will share no matter what. Somebody might share one of my memes, but they're sharing from my page. So my page, they're going to go to my page, and somebody, which happens quite a bit. People are like, "Oh, somebody shared one of your boards and they were hilarious, so we had to come check the place out," or something.
And it's funny too. Somebody just commented about getting on or meeting other bands, getting on show. I can't tell you how many bands that I've booked here, taken the time, sent people links to the show, all that, and the day before they cancel on us on Wednesday because something just didn't work out for them or this or that. And this is an opportunity to put your free self out there and be seen by 1,000 or a couple thousand people, and don't screw it up, man. Especially if you're an aspiring artist. It's always these youngsters, unfortunately, who are new to the business who do that to us. Yeah. The guys that are established, if I tell Jonathan Grooms your date is, or Jim Cuesta's next week on the 17th, Jim Cuesta is going to be here. I know he's going to be here. He's not going to miss it.
It's usually the newcomers, and those are also the ones that have been the rudest, most egotistical I'm not saying all of them, so don't get your knickers in a ruffle here, but has been the youngsters at the jam.
That's the cleanest you've ever said anything.
Trying to be respectful.
Your knickers in a ruffle. I like it. How about your panties in a wad? I'll say that. Denny says, Tom Less's music has always said that supporting and promoting other musicians first leads to reciprocation. And that's yes. And don't become a clique. Don't become just, I support 2 or 3 other musicians. If you're going to support local music, support it. And, don't, it's not like you're, it's almost like a Scottish Mel Gibson movie, where they've got this gang on this side and 5 or 6 groups come together and they're soldiers against this band. And that's silly. I mean, that only gets you bad stuff.
It's also, the people that are, I don't know. Some people get mad because they think they're not part of the clique. It's not that you're not part of the clique. It's just you're not there. You're not supporting anybody. So why the hell would you be included in something? A lot of the people that are putting up lots of stinks or saying, you don't share this, is because you're not including yourself, putting yourself to join this party, the group, the community.
Right. And Matt St. George, thank you for that. I agree. Open mics are great for your original music. People that come to open mics want to see that. They like to hear original songs. That's what it's about. And that's the difference also between open jams like at the Bell, and that is an entertainment production, versus an open mic where it's like, all right, up here comes Junior. He gets 3 songs and he's going to play them for you. And that's how that works. And you can play anything you want in that environment. Now,
Tom,
typically, I don't know of a lot of open mics that have wall-to-wall packed houses every week. That's the sad part, because there's a lot of great music out there that people write and play. And Russell says play a lot. Thank you for that.
Tom Braun, know your limitations. Big one. I completely agree with that. That's about, being self-aware as well.
I'm getting there. I am so behind.
Jamie says, I'm going to say, if you only support one band, you really missing out on a lot of talented music. Well, that's for sure. And if you're only supporting your band, you're really missing out on a lot of info and learning something and bettering yourself and your craft.
And, I will say this too, Jamie, that's a great example of what can happen to people like you and other people who get out and support multiple bands. And then all of a sudden, you can't be everywhere. People start getting crappy about, well, you didn't show up to my show this weekend. There's only one of you. I mean, Jamie Minnick can't go to 15 shows this weekend and take pictures and videos, and nor can I, and I've been sick for the last 10 days. I haven't been anywhere, but thank God I had Marianne yesterday and people like that who've been places and can talk about it and come on the show. So ease up, people,
Yeah, people are rude. I'm sorry, but people can be dicks.
They can be. And Kareem says, like Russell mentioned, constantly getting yourself out there, hitting a home run's hard. It is. It's hard. It's hard to wow a crowd. Absolutely. And what else we got? Melody Snow says she appreciates you making her laugh with your page and the board.
Well, that's another thing. That's another. I think there is so much crap out there on Facebook, so much negativity, that one of my very favorite things to do in the world is to make people laugh. That's it. I love laughing. And I mean, joy, laughter is amazing.
There's Rob Nadler. How are you, Rob? Thank you. Judy Dunkley says, thank you, Denny. All right. What else? Social is more important than media. Amen, Russell Jenkins. Man, I like Russell Jenkins.
He's a smart man.
Yeah. Why would politicians travel? Absolutely. Because you can't do everything via social media. I mean, you can't. You got to get out there, shake hands. I had the best time at your place Sunday with the fundraiser for CFG and Jimmy Rogers and all that, just because I got to see people that are like-minded and love music and were there in support of that band. And that makes me feel good. That's why I go places. I could give or take some of the bands I go see, but I will tell you that when you're in a room like that with like-minded people and they all love music, it wouldn't have mattered who was playing, even though the playing was off the hook. It wouldn't have mattered. It's just the right atmosphere. And that was so much fun. And congratulations, by the way, on raising $10,000 that day.
Over 10,000. Yeah.
What a killer day.
That was great for them.
Seven's here. What's Debbie Manning got to say? She said, thank you for the fundraiser. Thank you, Debbie Manning. Have Debbie on the show before. We have Blues Society and all that. All right. And we're looking forward to cheering all those guys on in Memphis. And man, I'll tell you, I said yesterday on the show, if Casey and company does not win the band section, it'll only be because it's rigged. That is one hell of a band with an absolute aura about them that is like nothing I've seen.
Hey, Rob. Hey, there's something special about them. I don't know. They blow me away. I feel like they get better and better with every
Ed made me laugh there. He's a clone and sends his clones out. There we go. Yes. And Ed has great energy. Thank you for that. Absolutely. And what else? I'm trying to get to Russell's comment there. As far as original music or being a recording artist, go where the industry is. They're not coming to you. Okay. And where is the industry for originals, you think, right now? I mean, it seems to be everybody migrating to Nashville that wants to do original stuff, but maybe there's some other places I'm not aware of. But
the most opportunities are in places like Nashville. So how bad do you want it? Right. I had a conversation with somebody because there's a couple of people or, band and some people that I was just trying to figure out if I was able to, if I could assist them into moving their career further, what would it have to take? And multiple people had said to me, first question is, you got to ask them how bad they want it. And if they want it, then they might have to make that move, because the fact of the matter is you're going to have a lot more connections in a place like Nashville than you are in Cincinnati, because they're, that's just what they do. So, and you got to be willing to play, like, start somewhere. You go play to those jams. One of the other things they said is go play all those jams that they have in Nashville, because that helps too.
Right.
But it's not how it used to be, whereas like people are like those managers or record labels are sitting in this place waiting for that next big star. It just doesn't happen like that anymore, at least not nearly as often. But there are people from other bands that are looking for perhaps a backup singer or a drummer or a guitarist, and that's how they're getting in.
Amen to that. And I, Ray, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we don't have a huge scene here in Cincinnati, Dayton area and all that, but I will say, I don't believe we have a huge original scene. You said that. I'm going to disagree with you on that one, because if we had a huge original scene, that'd be going on so much more in a lot of the clubs. And every owner I know,
on a lot in downtown. And OTR has a huge original scene, and a lot of Dayton, I think, does as well too. Some.
But I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it huge. I mean, I would call Nashville a huge original scene and things like that.
Nothing you just said is true. Okay.
Who said that? Terry? All right, Terry, tell us why nothing's true then.
I'm just going off what somebody told me. What actually 3 different people that play in bands, touring bands, told me about Nashville.
He's the same guy that put his shameless plug up a minute ago for his band. So I don't know. Tell us about it, Terry. I don't know your band. Tom Braun says
nobody's insulting. Hello. Nobody's insulting the talent in Cincinnati. Relax. Nobody's insulting the talent in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has some of the best musical talent I have seen. I absolutely adore it. But when we're talking about original music, what they all told me, and this is not me, it's what I've been told because I was trying to help a couple of bands move forward, was that you got to decide that's a lot of the connections are in Nashville. Nobody is hating on Cincinnati here.
Did we have a comment that said that? Was there a comment there on that I missed?
No, but everybody's like, everything you said is wrong.
No, I'm not saying there's not a scene for it. I don't think it's a massive. People don't say, "Oh, Cincinnati's on the mecca of original artist cities to go to." Now, there is huge talent in Cincinnati. I've said that for how long, Ceris? Forever on this show. And Cincinnati has massive talent.
Cincinnati has some of the best musical talent I've ever seen.
And Rob Nadler said it there. Cincy is just as good talent. Jim Quest has said that numerous times as well.
I agree.
I've been to Nashville numerous times. I will tell you, I am as wowed sitting at the Bell and the Bear Jam as I am in Nashville any day of the week.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm not a fan of Nashville. It's not my thing. Yes, of course, there are some very talented people there, but I personally think we have more talent here. It's different, but I think I think the Cincinnati music scene isn't quite as tarnished as it is in Nashville. Like the venues take advantage of their musicians and the singers, like all of that. Whereas I find here, there's still so much passion and just talent that comes out of it.
Yeah. Thank you, Courtney, for that comment. That's a great comment. And, yes. And Kevin is loving this. He said, and Kevin was one who will tell you, I mean, people who firmly go to Nashville to write music and to play originals and do all that. When you say, "Oh, are you playing on Broadway?" they kind of roll their eyes, because Broadway is the tourist mecca of Nashville. To hear the originals and some of the greater players, you got to broaden your horizons and get off Broadway a little bit and get away from the woo girls who are screaming all night long in every club as they do the bachelorette party and all that crap. It's what goes on down there. And that has changed considerably over the years, from the first time I ever went there to now. And nobody's hating on anybody.
Nobody's hating on anything, right, guys.
And Brett says he and Dan play over a set of original music. And I've heard them play. I love to hear them play. Love their original stuff. So there is a place for it. It's just not always fully accepted as all originals. When you go to clubs in this area, and somebody says, "Oh, I'm playing tonight. I'm playing all my original songs," it's not as widely accepted as covers. It just what I'm saying. You can hate me for it, but I'm going to tell you that's been
over
my.
the top here. Nobody is.
You know, it's always fun. It is.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Everybody with their cap locks, getting mad, and yelling.
Man, I can't keep up. I'm obviously missing some of these, but. And Bob says Nashville sucks.
Waltz has a very good comment.
All right, let me find Ben.
True. I don't live in Nashville, but I think it's a very good comment.
Wow. Thank you, Benjamin. Music is an industry in Nashville. It's a weekend entertainment in Cincinnati. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason those clubs like on Broadway in Nashville play from 10 a.m. in the morning till 2 a.m. at night. I mean, you don't see that happening around here. Very rarely are there any music clubs that go 24/7. Right. Like those places do. It is an industry and people go there, and there's a reason that there's broken guitars in the trash cans going down Broadway. People go down there with a dream, and those dreams often get shattered because there's 10,000 other people with that same dream.
Where was that comment? Tom Braun, Ronnie Vaughn, and Kevin Fox are just two. I would say about 90% of the bands that play on my stage or musicians that play on my stage throw in a couple of original tunes. Nobody is saying that people don't play original music. Just there are clubs that cater to mainly cover, and there are clubs that tend to cater to more original. That doesn't mean that you can't add in, those cover places don't want to hear some of your originals. It's just that they cater to that. Nobody's saying Cincinnati sucks. They're saying Cincinnati is amazing. That's what they're saying. But guess what? Other cities do exist that are known for certain things. Doesn't mean that they're better. Just some things that people have said from there. That's it.
Thank you, Russell Jenkins. Stylize your covers and make them your own style. Amen. I agree with that 110%. And I would not be here. Cincinnati saved the radio show. Okay. Cincinnati, the Bell and the Bear saved this. I was ready to turn it off, be done, because I had circled through the Dayton market, and I'm going to be honest, some of the Dayton people were being extremely hateful about stuff and territorial and everything else. And Dayton's got an outside Dayton market and an inside Dayton market that's really strange. Downtown Dayton is more original clubs and some of the bands that do their own thing and all that. And outside tends to be the cover bars and those kind of things. But Cincinnati's the reason I'm still here. And, we're not doing anything original. We're just having some fun with this. I mean, look at right now. There are 68 live people watching this. There will be over 1,000 people this week that check this out. And we don't care if I don't want to say we don't care if you get mad, but we're not here to make you angry. We're here to just talk about topics and help people out and try to have a little fun with it.
Yeah. First of all, Roger Bates, Austin, Texas is another original tune town, very bohemian. I am a big fan of Austin, Texas. I agree with that place. I like that place. I do like that place. I don't think it's nearly as oversaturated as in Nashville. I know they treat their musicians better there, the bands there. But
all right, I think we're out of time.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we're running long here.
You guys, just remember, opinions are like assholes, and we all have them. But getting mad at people for speaking what they've been through or learned doesn't make them an asshole. But you got to allow people to speak without you getting pissed off or, accusing them of not being you. So
thank you, Mark Feldman. That's good advice. Thank you for giving that to the masses out there today.
All covers get established too. I love cover bands.
And Debbie, thank you. Aren't we supposed to support music everywhere with everyone?
With everyone supporting others. Absolutely. 100%.
That's what we're hoping for. And
thanks, Tim.
Tim, you're a great guy. Thank you for that. Gina McCann, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Glenn.
Gina. Thanks, everybody.
Glenn, by the way, he put CFG's logo over my hat the other day. I was salty about that, Glenn. I'm just kidding. I thought it was funny. Let's do something real quick, Karis. You ready? Before we go? All right, answer these fast here.
Okay.
Let's do a little this or that to go out on a positive note here. Asian food or Mexican food?
Asian.
Chewing gum or a breath mint?
Breath mint.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
McDonald's or Five Guys?
Five Guys.
Domino's or Jets?
Jets.
Appetizer or dessert?
Both.
Spicy food or bland food?
Medium.
All right. Would you rather listen to your least favorite genre for 24 hours straight or never listen to your favorite genre for 6 months?
What was the first one?
Would you rather listen to your least favorite genre for 24 hours straight, or would you rather never listen to your favorite genre for 6 months?
I'll do 24 hours straight.
All right. Would you rather be a famous singer or be able to bring a famous singer back to life?
Bring a famous singer back to life.
Would you go to a Slayer concert in a One Direction t-shirt or your underwear? I know.
Well, I can make my underwear look good.
Can you? All right. Somehow I believe that. All right. First band you ever liked?
Oh, I can't even remember. I don't even know.
Least favorite band?
I don't know.
Last song you listened to?
Oh, Van Morrison. What was it? I can't remember the name, but it was Van Morrison.
Okay. Give up junk food or meat?
Meat.
Eat a raw potato or a whole lemon?
Potato.
Donuts or chips?
Bring the two together.
Give up cheese or chocolate forever?
Oh, come on, man. I'm not doing that. That's rude.
Eat pizza for breakfast or pancakes for dinner?
Pancakes for dinner.
Celery stick or a carrot stick?
Carrot stick.
French fries or mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes.
Rolling Stones or Aerosmith?
Rolling Stones.
That's all I got today.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Into the Mystic, Jim says. What's
That's
that?
a good
Van
song,
Morrison.
Jim.
That's it. Bob says disco's his Leafs favorite. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you all for watching today and being part of this.
Guys.
Thanks to the haters out there, by the way, who said everything we said was wrong. We appreciate that as well. Because, Karis, what we say here is your opinion matters. Feel free to leave your thoughts.
I think everybody felt free to leave.
I think they did today. And don't forget, the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities that they represent.
I love most of you. Just kidding.
Suckarama.
I don't really care.
We're out of here. Follow us on YouTube, people, and follow us on the Insta as well. We'd love to see you there at All Around Town Radio. Don't forget to hit the bell and the bear page. Also, hit that little like button on that. And make Karis a superstar on Facebook. Monetize her.
Make Scott a superstar on Facebook.
Scott. Thank you. I'm off to do trivia tonight, and tomorrow I'll be at your place. Name that tune tomorrow night.
Right? Bye.
Right?
Love you guys.
Are we there? Can you even hear me?
Bye, Jenny. Bye, Tom. Bye, Jim. Bye, Russell. Bye, Ed.
I don't think she can hear me.
Oh, what?
Can you hear me? I said I'll be at your place tomorrow night.
I know.
We excited?
Name that tune tomorrow night.
Thanks for the shameless plug. Jesus. All right. Bye.
Bye.
We out of here. Thanks, Rebecca. Rebecca from Texas. Let's go to Austin. I want to go to Austin now. I do.
Go to
All right. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Kenny. Don't get your britches in a bunch, Jimmy. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Randy Watts.
Randy.
Later.
Bye, Randy.
Later.
Later, skater.
Denny said it was a barn burner today. Yes, sirree. Thanks, Russell Jenkins, for all your input today. Thanks,
Russell. Lots of good input.
Yes.
Thanks for all the cap lock yelling, everybody.
The what?
The cap
didn't hear
lock
that.
yelling.
Oh,
Thanks for the
yes.
cap lock.
Should I do that too in a comment? Maybe let me hit a cap lock.
Just do it. Do it. I'm gonna do it too. Doing it. Oh wait, how do you do it?
I just commented. You'll see mine.
Where do you
There it
do
is.
that? I don't even know how to comment on my phone, like on my computer, like this.
Oh, yes, it is bitches, not bitchers. So there. We're out of here. Thanks, everybody.